you're being dishonest. You're not being a man of integrity. The first time I am seen with, for example, President William Ruto, you were the first person to cry on your social media page and say, "Oh, Kasmuel, oh my, oh my." I remember I saw it. It was a lamentation. It was like a jilted lover. Kasmuel. Yeah, just let me just. Oh no. Let me now talk about like.
Okay, now.
I've been seeing so many politicians. It's so many, but he went on a whole tirade and said, "Are these not the same people who killed us? Why are you dining with them? Kama ingekuwa biashara si ungetuambia tukuchangie." And then now you want to tell us that it is a transformative idea. You suddenly have this rather transformative idea that meeting Rigathi Gachagua is part of the change. That and he sits down and he tells us they are consulting on how to sort corruption. They are consulting on how to sort youth unemployment. And remember, Rigathi Gachagua did not say a damn thing. And this is the thing where we have to be entirely honest. And if we're going to use a scale of morality, and this is back to the People's Court, if we are going to use a scale of morality, let it be just. Because now you hear Morara, he's making my work so easy because he's starting to say the things that I have been saying, but he has been calling me a briefing carrier. He has been saying, oh, me joining the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was a wrong decision. Now he comes and he tells us that he's joining Rigathi because Rigathi has 4 million, a voter block of 4 million. What prevents me from making this argument that Raila Amolo Odinga's voter base remains largely untouched because he did not get the Mlima votes. Then, let's say William Samoei Ruto has lost Mlima. If I combine these two, if you now want to talk about numbers, who has more numbers?
And I hope this is response to his question.
It is because he asked me a very direct question about the thing. Mm-hmm. And this is why I keep on saying that we have to come to the table of equity equitably. And I go ahead and say the reason why I also castigate this thing, we have to be absolutely fair that we cannot think that that Rigathi Gachagua will be our savior while you're joining a man who immediately after your meeting, the next thing he says the next day is that Gema will rule Kenya for 100 years. Mm-hmm. But you want to tell me that you have a problem with identity politics. Now, going back to this to his question, because he asks then, did you ride on the fame of the wave? It has been a rocky journey for me because there have been several mishaps. And if you've been tracking, every 2 weeks I get cancelled. Every 2 weeks I would get cancelled. By the time it's getting to Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment, that was, I think, the last straw on the camel's back. And I said, this journey has to go on. I would have chosen to give up. I would have chosen to now stay at home and say, okay, fine, it's over. But I believe that there's a great work that is to be done. And it's not done by pulling each other down, because I would have done the thing which Morara did to me when I was doing these moves. I would have typed a whole essay and told him, these are the ills of Rigathi Gachagua, these are the ills of Martha Karua, these are the ills of all these people you're surrounding yourself with. But I totally understand that if you involve yourself in the political processes, it cannot be that it's okay for you to involve yourself in certain processes, but it's not okay for other people. Be that as it may. As young people, we are not limited to these existing options. That's the thing which I want us to disabuse ourselves, because we might end up reducing a very potent conversation to these options. I am just but one person. I totally believe that Chama Kubwa will bring the liberation. Okay. But if you think that the liberation will not be found in Chama Kubwa, as Mwalimu Nyerere says, kama wananchi wa Tanzania hawatayapata mabadiliko hapa katika Chama cha Mapinduzi, wananchi wataenda kuyatafuta mabadiliko hayo kwingine. You are free to keep on caucusing and keep on mobilizing and organizing to ensure that in whatever vehicle you find yourself in, you find yourself at the decision-making table. Because trust me, it is we, these young people here that you see, are the ones who in 2024 were the biggest political players. Is this to admit that we would say the social media space is not as ripe enough? No, it is ripe. Let us not reduce. Social media is what ripe, brought us here. But social media is what makes these people have the questions that how do we take then the politics out of social media to now what it is that you're talking about? But they've taken it. Okay. These questions that we are being asked, when they're asking us on social media. But you see, that's a question. Social media. And sometimes we have this misconception that social media is this different animal and the ground is this different animal. Okay. Who's using pretty much the same. It is, and we are tending to reduce the gap. And that's why I'm very keen specifically on trying to talk to each other and not at each other.